Dumelang, my name is Muthinda Mbebana. Welcome to the Chosen Generation. Today we're talking about the plant-based diet. Imagine going to a traditional ceremony and it starts with the slaughtering of a soya burger. You know, the way we eat is determined by an intricate amalgamation of so many issues. How we believe, what we know about our health, our religious beliefs, and so many other cultural norms. Today I have 3 guests who are going to help us unpack this issue a little bit more. With us today are 2 people who have espoused the plant-based diet. The first person with us today is Amanda, and she has decided to take part in a plant-based diet. Followed by that, we have Michelle, who has joined us, and she's also a supporter of this plant-based diet. We also have amongst us Chantal, who is a dietitian. And last but not least, we have Dumisani, and he claims he can heal with a plant-based diet. Share your ideas with us on the hashtag on the screen right now, hashtag TCG on SID, and let us know what you think about this subject.
Okay, so a plant-based diet, that's a diet where all the food is, based around plants, right? So for example, vegan food, right? So let's say you have food like meat and eggs and all that, where you could find plant-based alternatives to take place of all that.
Well, plant-based diets, basically whatever you consume is mostly like from plants. You're not taking in any meat. So in some instances, there are instances where you try to make food, meat-like food, but which is mostly plant-based. So
I have in the past. I don't do it right now actively, but I wouldn't be opposed to doing it again.
my opinion on it, it's healthy. Well, it seems to be healthy, but yeah, I love meat still. So.
All right, let's get into the discussion. Maybe I'll start with you, Michelle.
Yes.
Why did you choose the plant-based diet?
So I had 2 issues. I had allergies
Okay.
as well as food addiction, right? So number 1, with allergies, I would actually wake up every morning with like either a swollen part of my body, and I couldn't actually get the answers from the doctor what was the cause. So I did process of elimination, white meat, red meat, black meat, whatever it is, and it never worked. Same as every morning around 10 a.m., there's a specific packet of chips that I needed to eat. Otherwise, I would have headaches, nonstop headaches. So then I went plant-based in a detox, and the addiction went away, as well as the allergies also just within a week. I was no longer having those allergies. So that's what made me change my diet.
So your decision was based on health or on dealing with an issue. If that had not happened, you wouldn't have.
I don't think so.
All right.
Yes, I
Okay,
don't think
that's
so.
interesting. Amanda, what's your story? What made you choose a plant-based diet?
So mine leans towards what happened with Michelle, but the way it happened is kind of interesting. So I was praying and fasting at that time, and I clearly heard God tell me that you no longer eat meat.
Okay.
And from that very day in 2015 to today, I have not had meat. And what happened is that the asthma attacks I used to get, which would get me hospitalized for up to 3 days at a time, stopped. I stopped getting those asthma attacks. So I'm really grateful.
Like Paul, he spoke directly to you.
Yeah.
Said, wow, interesting. Dumsan, we need to address this rumor right now in this segment that you are able to heal. What is your institution all about? What do you do? Tell us a bit about your work.
Okay, thank you for the question. Health, wellness, and lifestyle in a holistic approach. In other words, it's more than just diet. It's more than just herbs. It's more than just, actually, what we do is we have a holistic approach. We address the diet. We come down to the point of knowing even the shops around, the accessibility, the area in which one is, for instance, what you'll find in Durban will be different from what you find in Joburg, will be different from what you find in Mafikeng, or because each area has got different types of veggies, plants, and even climate as well. So then that's exactly in a nutshell.
Okay, that's very interesting. I think we can go a bit deeper into that a little bit later. But I think maybe we sort of know about this plant diet. Maybe I should ask this, Michelle. What does that entail? When you say plant diet, does that mean you have no animal? What exactly do you eat?
So it means you do not eat anything that comes from an animal. For
Okay.
example, eggs, you can't eat eggs. You can't have milk. You can't have, sometimes when you buy your bread, it actually has maybe some parts of maybe oils which are used from an animal. So you don't eat that. You're mainly eating things that come from the ground.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. So having said that, this is the best place to bring in here, Chantal. As a dietitian, are there any risks, this diet where you're only eating plants? Surely there must be something that we miss when we eat plants from a dietitian's perspective, that is.
Well, a well-blend plant-based diet, you wouldn't have any nutrient deficiencies.
Okay.
But if you're not really well educated or doing your research into going into a plant-based diet, you do certainly run the risk of running short of certain nutrients, especially vitamin B12. Some people are at risk of iron deficiencies, but it shouldn't necessarily have to be the case. I think people just shouldn't go blindly into following a plant-based diet and not necessarily doing their research and making sure that they're getting in a balanced nutritional intake so that they can get all the nutrients they need to follow a healthy diet.
Okay, that's interesting. Maybe Amanda, I can bring you in. I didn't ask this in the beginning. At what stage of your life were you when you decided to, espouse this plant-based diet?
So I had finished studying in university and I was working now, but I do believe in continuous education, so I'm still studying even now.
Okay, so you were a young professional.
Yes.
Okay, so do you think you would have done that? What I'm trying to get to is the notion of the expense, where you have to now go away from, the normal diet that you have. Would you have done that if you're a student, perhaps?
I definitely think I would have, because I found that I spend a lot less on groceries now than I used to spend on groceries because of all those extras. And meat is not that cheap, actually. So I found that your veggies, your cabbage, your lentils, your beans, peas, and all of that are really affordable.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Viewers at home, we've just scratched the surface. There's much more that we need to discuss about this subject. Stay tuned. Remember to tell us what your views are on the hashtag TCG on SID, and let us know what you think about the plant-based diet. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're still on The Chosen Generation, and we are still discussing the plant-based diet. And my guests and I are trying to go deeper into this issue. We invite you to also tell us what you think on the hashtag TCG on SID. We would love to read your comments on this issue. Back to us, our guests. I think I'll start with you, Chantal. Maybe from a dietitian's perspective, you can tell us what the benefits are for the plant-based diet.
Yeah, so there's actually a lot of benefits to following, again, a well-planned
That's the key
plant-based
word.
diet.
Yeah.
That gives you all the nutrients that you need, so if you've got a plant-based diet that's rich in whole grains and fresh fruits and vegetables and your pulses, you really get an array of antioxidants and lots of nutrients, magnesium, potassium, folate, a lot of good nutritional value to the diet, which gives you benefits in terms of where we know it can actually reduce your risk for diabetes. It can give you a lot of cardiovascular protection. It can actually help with weight management to some extent. Some people have gotten relief from symptoms from osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. So there really is a lot of benefit to following a plant-based diet.
That's really interesting. Maybe Michelle, I can bring you in here. When I started in my introduction, I was talking about traditional ceremonies and how meat is such a central issue to that. How do we work around that? What are your thoughts about that? If I am per se invited to a traditional ceremony and I am plant-based, how do I navigate in that space?
I think looking at our culture, for you it might be more difficult than for me. So because we are Africans, men are not found in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I usually offer to bring something. Hey, what would you like me to bring? Do you need assistance in the kitchen? Then that way I can assist. But you find that when you go to a wedding, you can do salads, you can do your butternuts, you can do basically the veggies which are already there without being a burden to anybody else. I mean, the main purpose is for you to be there with family and loved ones, but I offer to cook.
I think that's the way, because there's often, this plant-based relative is coming.
Yes.
I don't know what to cook for them. Yeah. So I think volunteering is one strategy to circumvent that. Amanda, maybe I should bring you in here. You often, when you think about the vegan diet or the plant-based diet, you often thinking about, I need to go buy food at Woolworths or what, and there's always this thing about it being expensive. How can one navigate the element of money when it comes to the plant-based diet?
Well, I actually found that whether I was here at home in South Africa or I traveled, it was pretty easy for me to find very good plant-based meals. So you could go to your markets. You could I love to go to a place called Housewives Market. It's just a fruits and veg place, very affordable, fresh produce. And when I traveled, I remember the last time I was in Kenya, there was a beautiful market just full of fresh vegetables, really affordable. So you could buy veggies from pretty much a supermarket, an outside market, any place. You could even grow some of your own.
So since you've been a vegan, do you eat out more than when you were not plant-based? Sorry.
I think it's pretty much the same. I've always loved to cook.
Okay.
So I like to experiment in the kitchen and find new ways to do the same salad, but adding little bits and pieces. So I like to cook. But when I do order out, I found that restaurants are becoming more and more accommodating to the plant-based lifestyle. So I have a lot of variety now, unlike in the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not that you're not eating out. It's actually cheap.
Yeah.
All right. Dumisani, maybe I should bring you in here, and maybe you can share your ideas on health benefits also of plant-based diet. Or what are your ideas on that?
Excellent. We have a wide variety of plants, and each plant has a special type or exclusive type of nutrient or antioxidant or elements. So then you have a whole array, because you see, like, the body is made really from the dust of the earth, and in the soil you get all the magnesiums, irons, boron, nickels, all the elements. So now the plants have got a wide variety. Some have got more than others. Some have got others that others don't have. So when you diversify, even the different colors, then you get things like DNA protecting agents. You get things like immune system boosting elements and nutrients. You get also detoxification nutrients and elements. So plants just do magic to the body. Yeah, they'll make you look younger, not so much fiber, good bowel movements, excrete waste. fix up your bones, like Amanda said, or Chantal said, but bone mineral density, your collagen, your skin, and you just feel born again.
Oh, wow. Okay. Some beauty tips there from
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Dumsani. Is the plant-based lifestyle easy for everyone? Or what are your thoughts on that from your perspective as a dietitian?
I think that's definitely where my profession would come in, because I do actually get a lot of people who really want to go this route and aren't necessarily sure where to start. And it can be very intimidating because if you go on Google, there's so much conflicting information. So it's nice to be able to go to someone who's honestly trained in giving you the right advice. So that's where we come in and make it easier, give you the ideas on what you can include in your diet so that you get all the nutrients that you need, maybe give you some ideas on recipes, how to approach your cooking, because it's a whole new way of cooking and preparing food, and just experimenting with things, because otherwise, yes, it can certainly be quite challenging, but with the right guidance and a support system, I think it can be quite easy.
Okay, so everyone can do this. It's
Yes.
not that daunting. Michelle, I want to come to a very interesting issue here, and it's with relationships. How do you navigate the dating environment when, if, for example, if I'm plant-based, do I only look at, is my market only that small plant-based market, or can I go for meat eaters?
Well, I guess I was fortunate because my husband, he was actually vegetarian when we started dating. So the movement made it easier. And as well as my in-laws, they also are vegetarians. And they're vegetarians. So I think as long as if you date somebody who's understanding, because you can't force a lifestyle or your conviction on another person. You can only but show that, hey, it is possible to eat healthier and to do certain things. So I think you shouldn't be forcing, like, I only date vegans because you're busy eating animals. No, you should let the person be themselves. And if they make the decision for themselves, let it be so. And if they don't choose meat, I mean, to stop eating meat, I don't think you miss heaven because you eat meat.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay. Oh, okay, I hear that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Dumsani, earlier on, you're talking about all these minerals that are in the sand and stuff like that. But you can buy supplements from the shops. Are they safe? Maybe in a nutshell, what can you say about the safety of supplements?
All right. Now, with supplements, it's usually singled out, like magnesium supplement, calcium mag supplement, vitamin D supplement. But then now, with food or with plants, there's no one plant which has only one nutrient. It's a whole array in perfect balance, perfect amounts. Now, it's like, in other words, the way God made a plant, like give for example, in a lemon. A lemon does not just have vitamin C only. It also has potassium, magnesium, iron, vitamin B1, B2, B3. So and all those are in a perfect balance, perfect array, so that all the nutrients and elements can assimilate. When they assimilate, your body can now absorb and utilize them. So if you single out, say, vitamin C on its own, it doesn't come with its cofactor minerals. A good example is if you put Cristiano Ronaldo by himself in the soccer field without the rest of the team, you can't expect him to perform and score goals.
Okay.
He needs everybody else.
On that issue, maybe we must have half time. let's cut to a break. Viewers at home, we are just getting started. There's much more for you after the break. Please continue to interact with us on TCG, on SID. Let us know what you think about this issue. We'll be right back. Welcome back to The Chosen Generation. We're still speaking about the plant-based diet. Before the break, we looked at various issues like the benefits of the plant-based diet and the supplements and how they work and all of that. We also looked about relationships, how to deal with a vegan boyfriend or plant-based girlfriend or husband, whatever. We looked at those relationship dynamics, and we invite you to keep on interacting with us on the hashtag TCG on SID. Let us know what you think and what your experiences are. We really love hearing from you. Right, into the questions again. I think I'll start with you, Amanda. Maybe Michelle, you can also share your ideas on this. And that is the perspective of a student not having time to prepare the meals and so forth. How do you navigate that? Maybe a student is watching at home and like, you know what, I really want to do this, but I don't have the time, I don't have the money. What is your advice to such a person?
I think I'm the perfect person because I am a student.
All right.
And
Okay.
I work and I don't have a helper.
Okay.
So you're working, you're taking care of your house and everything, and you don't need a lot of time to prepare food. And I think it's like everything else. The more you do it, the faster you get at cooking. So you can chop up your things. Some things you can put away in a freezer ahead of time. So you could boil your pulses ahead of time and store them in the freezer if you have a busy schedule. And then what you would do is that you would freshly make the other aspects. So let's say you want to do a veggie stir fry, you quickly do that, and then you just add your parboiled veggies. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Michelle, any other points to add?
I actually do the same thing.
Oh, right.
So what I do is I take my 2 kgs of beans and soak them over 2 or 3 days just to soften them up. And then from there you boil them. It takes you less than 3 hours versus the whole day. And pack them up into small packs, freeze them. And also sometimes I chop my veggies, even when they're fresh, and just put them in the fridge. When I'm ready to cook, everything is good to go.
No, that's interesting. Dumisani, seeing that you are the Ronaldo of plant-based diets, how can people reach you and take advantage of the service that you offer?
Excellent. For now, we're still working on everything else from the website and everything. But then I'm on Facebook as Dumisani Mlambo, or email dumisanimlambo4@gmail.com.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And then I respond to emails. I'm available. Let me not say 24/7, otherwise.
Yeah.
But then I'm hands-on, and I come to where the people are. That's the best, because once I deal with you in your space, knowing your environment, knowing where you stay, what's around you, which shops are there, the accessibility and availability of things, then we can work with that.
Okay, that's interesting. I hope you've all heard at home how you can get hold of Dumisani. Chantal, maybe I should ask you this question. What is the importance of having a balanced diet as a plant-based person? Why is that so important?
So the main thing is just to get in all the nutrients.
Okay.
At the end of the day, each nutrient has got a function. So you just want to make sure that you know that you're eating certain foods to get specific nutrients. You're eating your greens to get your folate. You know, you're eating your pulses to get your protein and fiber. So as long as you can just kind of grasp why you're eating certain foods and really just trying to eat a little bit of everything. The importance is to include a variety in your diet. If you're including a variety, chances of running short on certain nutrients will be a lot less. So try not to just stick to 1 or 2 things. Mix up your pulses and whole grains. Include lots of different varieties of fresh fruits and vegetables. Most likely, the only thing I would recommend a supplement on is B12. Maybe an iron, but I would definitely recommend, if you are worried that you may be running short on certain nutrients, maybe get a blood test done, just have those levels checked out, and where needed, correct it. But overall, if you are following a very well-balanced diet with a lot of variety, chances of running short, I think, are not very likely.
When you mentioned the iron, you just reminded me, what about blood type? Do we need to consider that in how we balance our meals, our blood type? People eat according to blood type groups and stuff like that.
I wouldn't necessarily put too much emphasis on blood type. I think really at the end of the day, the basis for any healthy diet, regardless of whether you're going plant-based or keto or paleo, the basics is really natural, wholesome foods. No one diet that claims to be healthy is recommending sweets and sugar sweetened beverages and donuts. Those could probably all fall under a vegan diet, but not necessarily the most healthy one.
Yeah.
So really at the end of the day, regardless of which route you're going, the basics is to stick to your natural, wholesome foods. The less processed, the better.
Wow. All right. That is the best place to actually end this show. I'd like to say to the viewers at home, continue to share your ideas with us on TCG, on SID. Let us know what you think about this. I'd like to thank the guests also for coming. And maybe one last one for the viewers at home. Whatever we do, even eating, is worship to God. And we need to worship God even with our bodies. And whatever we do also must be to the glory of God. And so let us surrender ourselves to Jesus Christ, the one who saves, who sanctifies, and satisfies. I'd like to invite you to subscribe to our channel and it's called the SID Media on YouTube, and follow us. Perhaps more people will be able to reach this message. Thank you so much for being with us. Goodbye, and see you again next week.